Yeah, I don't have a microphone, so everybody, a round of applause please for Richard for being my honorary microphone of the day. For anybody confused,
a scenario where something happened and you acted in a certain way, but aren't sure if it was a justified reaction or you were just being an asshole.
So for this video, I compiled a few scenarios, some from Reddit and some from you guys. So I'm going to be going through these stories one by one and basically just judging you guys on whether you're an asshole or not. So without further ado, let us begin. Am I the asshole for logging into my friend's email account and declining her university's offer of admission? Okay. Ever since I was a child, I always dreamed of studying abroad. We all know the benefits of studying abroad, and I'm sure if I don't profit from this now, I will forever regret it later on. Understandable. Luckily for me, my parents are financially stable and can afford sending me abroad in order to gain such an invaluable experience. However, there is one catch, and that is I must go with a friend of mine as they won't send me there alone. I thought this wasn't a problem since I've been planning to go with my friend to country X, and this month things changed. My friend and I applied to 2 universities in different countries. One of them doesn't have a capita on the number of students it can accept, but the other one does. My friend got accepted to both of them, but I only got accepted to one. Both of them are good universities, and objectively one is not better than the other, but their education systems do differ. When my friend got accepted into the university in country Y, she told me that there is a possibility she might go there instead because she has relatives that live in that country and that will allow her to stay in their house without her having to pay rent. I was heartbroken by this news because how could she do this to me? She knows how much I wanted to study abroad and is well aware of the fact that my parents will not let me go alone. I told my parents about this and they assured me if there is no other person going that I can go with, then I will not be studying abroad and instead over here. I could not let this happen. Although she didn't say she is going to go there for sure, yet. I needed a definite answer or else I'll keep being stressed. My friend once told me the password on a game that we used to play together, and I tried to see if she has the same password for her email, and it turns out she does. So I logged in and rejected her admission offer and logged out. I'm sorry, you did what? My friend still doesn't know about this, but she will soon. Studying abroad, that's an experience. You don't want to miss out on something like that. I totally get it. But this is not the way you go about it. This is just so unethical on so many levels. I told my parents about it to assure them that my friend will now be going with me, but they got so upset on me and are now threatening me they're gonna call my friend's parents and tell them what I did. Yeah, well, no shit. I begged them not to, but they are not listening. They want me to do it in case she can still email the university and clear things up. In the end, I told them to let me tell her instead, and they agreed to it, although I don't think I will. Now that you know why I did this, what's my fault for being forced to go with a friend? Do you still think I am the asshole here? Yes! There is so much wrong with this. Firstly, the victimization. I mean, honey, the world doesn't revolve around you. Secondly, even if you guys do end up going to the same country for university, you guys are definitely not going to be friends anymore. At the end of the day, your friend has her own life and she doesn't owe you shit. You absolutely cannot expect a friend to tailor their decision for it to cater to you. Many parents aren't okay with their kids studying abroad, but like, that is a you problem. Your friend has nothing to do with this. This isn't just asshole behavior, this is asshole ultra pro max behavior. So the final verdict is you are indeed the asshole. Am I the asshole for reporting creepy neighbor's cameras without talking to him first? I am a woman in my 20s and recently moved houses. I live on my own. My new next door neighbors are middle-aged couple who are extremely religious. I'm not going to mention what religion they are. They are more on the fundamentalistic side of their religion. We've had amazing weather lately and I've been spending a lot of my time in my garden, chilling or working on my laptop, wearing shorts and t-shirts or summer dresses. Just normal clothes. I haven't even really met my neighbors until one day, the woman, whose name is Mira rang my doorbell. To my surprise, she asked me to start covering up and that she has a husband and growing boys and I shouldn't be showing my body because men can't help but look and it's our woman's responsibility to cover our bodies. Ugh, I'm literally getting triggered just reading this. Whatever you believe in, whatever your religion is, cool, but it is totally not your place to go into somebody else's house and tell them that they need to act a certain way based on your beliefs. I told her no and that men are perfectly capable of not looking and perhaps she should teach her husband and sons that they shouldn't be creeps, and I closed the door. While I haven't noticed anything earlier, now I was on high alert, and whenever I was in the garden, I noticed that someone in their house was often creeping on me through the window. One day I was coming home from shopping and I saw that the husband was installing a camera facing my garden, and I could see another one facing my living room. It was creepy to say the least, and I decided to get my own camera because I wasn't feeling safe. Well, it turns out that that was a good idea because the husband was a major peeping Tom. Turns out that whenever his wife left and at night, because I often stay up late, he would come and try to sneak a peek through my windows, mostly my downstairs bathroom. I ended up reporting him to the local authorities, not the police, for the cameras, because you can't have them facing someone else's property where I live. They made him take it down, and the woman came over shouting at me about how I lied about her husband and they got in trouble, and she called me various names. She claimed that it was a safety camera and I should have talked to them first, and they would have sorted it out and I didn't have to get the authorities involved. But frankly, after the last conversation that I had with that woman, I didn't feel comfortable speaking about it with them. I'm now considering reporting him for the peeping as well, but I'm wondering, am I the asshole for reporting them without speaking to them first? Honestly, I would have reacted in the exact same way. That is so beyond messed up. And thank you for raising that point. If you're telling a woman that she needs to have the decency to dress in a specific type of way, then it's also common decency for a man to just not stare. I would say you shouldn't have just reported him for the cameras, to be honest. Like, report him for the peeping as well, because this is just so messed up. Final verdict, you are not the asshole. Am I the asshole for not saying anything when someone called me spoiled and privileged? Oh, that sounds like me. My husband's best friend, Nate, got a girlfriend, Camilla, about half a year ago. She moved to our city recently, so she doesn't really have any friends here. But she and I hung out a couple of times and started to get friendly. For context, we're all in our 20s. My husband and I both have nice jobs. We have a small flat. We play tennis as a hobby. Camilla thinks it's a rich people sport, and we regularly travel by finding €10 plane tickets and staying at cheap hostels for 3 nights at a time. Why, thank you for this context. Moving on. My husband and I were hosting a little get together. Nate, Camilla, and a few of our other friends were invited. At one point, the conversation went to topics like the current level of inflation, how the lockdown affected people and jobs, the housing market, etc. So I had something to say too, agreeing with Camilla. Camilla cut me off and said something like, haha, no offense, but you're way too much of a spoiled, privileged girl to understand things like this. You would need a tragedy or two in your life to understand struggle. I love you, but you've never experienced any hardship in your life. Haha. And so the room went dead silent and nobody said anything. After some awkward silence, I stood up and said, well, is anybody hungry? Shall we eat? And we never went back to that topic. I think you handled it fairly maturely, to be very honest. Camilla messaged me the next day asking me, how could I do this to her? Nate told her afterwards that I had an abusive father and I felt ill as a teenager, spent months in the hospital, had to have multiple life-saving surgeries, and it took me a month to learn to walk again.
I wish so much he had said he was joking, because it didn't hurt. It didn't physically hurt me. I was just sitting there.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
Camilla is mad at me for not telling these very personal things to her before and making her look terrible to Nate's friends. She said that even correcting her at the party would have been better because then she could have apologized to me in front of everyone. But I took that chance away from her and now she will never make friends here again. Camilla is giving very performative friendship. Clearly the reason she was so mad is because she just wanted to seem nice in front of all the others. Honestly, this whole thing is ridiculous. Maybe I should have gently corrected her after she said that. Am I the asshole? How does Camilla think that you're the asshole when she called you spoiled and privileged? I feel like this is how I would respond to a situation as well, because you don't have to talk about your traumas and difficulties in life just because she said that in front of everyone at a gathering. And I'm mildly horrified that instead of apologizing to you privately, Camilla decided to call you out for making her look like an asshole. Darling, you are not the asshole. So there's this girl in our school and we became best friends in the most unexpected way. We used to talk all day and all night, but I never thought that I would catch feelings for her. That's what we all say. But guess what? I did catch feelings for her. Surprise, surprise. So then for a month or so, I was confused as to what I should do because I do like her, but maybe I shouldn't tell her because, mind you, she wasn't the kind of person who was interested in relationships. So this made me think that it was not gonna work and it wasn't gonna last forever anyways. Being scared of losing the friendship, and instead of confessing my feelings for her, I texted her and told her to never message me again and unfriend her on Snapchat. This just went from 0 to 100. You didn't want to confess your feelings to her because you were scared of losing her, but then you told her to never speak to you again? What? See, this is probably why she doesn't want to get into a relationship, because how does this make any sense? Anyway, but now I've resolved that conflict and I've made some out of the ordinary excuse as to why I did that, although all this time I couldn't stop thinking about her. But now I'm just thinking about confessing to her again because, you know, that feeling doesn't go away. So yeah, am I the asshole? You clearly chose cutting her out of your life on your own terms, so why not just confess your feelings? Because if you're unfriending her, then she's still not in your life. So if you confess your feelings to her and then she's not in your life, it's the same outcome either way. So are you the asshole in this situation? You're not an asshole, this is just fucking stupid. And that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any ITA stories, send them through on my email, and who knows, maybe I'll make a part 2. But anyway, see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.
What a wonderful